What if AI wasn't just a tool, but the creator? During a recent Joe Rogan podcast, Zuckerberg hinted at an AI takeover of coding jobs, and tech giants are betting on it. As AI systems like OpenAI's O3 rewrite the rules of coding, we're left asking, what happens when machines start solving their own problems? In this video, we'll uncover how AI is transforming tech, pushing companies to adapt, and why experts like Mark Zuckerberg fear it could change everything, forever. The future is closer than you think. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Mark Zuckerberg got into some pretty interesting territory when it comes to AI and its role in software engineering. He talked about how Meta is actively developing AI systems that, by 2025, could function at the level of mid-tier engineers, meaning they'd be able to write and debug code pretty efficiently. Now, he wasn't saying that AI is about to replace human engineers entirely. Instead, he framed it as a tool to augment human creativity. Basically, the idea is that AI can handle the more routine, repetitive coding tasks, freeing up engineers to focus on bigger, more innovative projects. He even made a comparison to historical technological advancements, suggesting that, just like past automation revolutions, this shift could allow people to spend more time on creative and cultural work, instead of getting bogged down in the tedious parts of coding. Of course, there's always the big question of job displacement. If AI can do the work of a mid-level engineer, what happens to those actual engineers? Zuckerberg didn't shy away from the fact that AI would change the job landscape, but he seemed optimistic that the technology would ultimately be more of a tool than a total replacement. It's also worth noting that he acknowledged how expensive this tech will be at first, but as with most AI developments, the efficiency gains over time will likely outweigh the initial costs. So, Meta is betting big on AI engineers helping shape the future of coding, whether that means streamlining internal development, improving AI-generated code within Meta's products, or even smashing that like button, just like you should, if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, they are even looking to redefine what engineering means in the tech world. It's a pretty bold vision, and it's clear that AI is becoming a bigger part of the conversation in tech, whether people like it or not. And it seems like Meta is already preparing for all of this with the recent job cuts. It turns out, Zuckerberg isn't just talking about AI taking on engineering roles, he's actively restructuring Meta to make that future a reality. Over the past few months, the company has been making some serious workforce cuts, letting go of around 3,600 employees, which is about 5% of Meta's total staff. And the way he's framing it, he says it's about raising the bar on performance management and weeding out so-called low performers. But a lot of people see it as a move to clear the way for AI-driven efficiency. At the same time, Meta is doubling down on AI investment in a huge way. In 2025 alone, they're planning to spend somewhere between $60 billion and $65 billion on AI projects. That's a staggering amount of money, and it's going toward things like data centers, advanced AI models, and, ironically, hiring more AI and machine learning engineers. So while they're cutting thousands of jobs in certain areas, they're fast-tracking the hiring of people who can help develop the AI systems that might ultimately replace even more traditional roles. It's a classic Zuckerberg move, ruthlessly optimizing for efficiency and long-term growth, even if it means making unpopular decisions in the short term. Employees, understandably, aren't thrilled. Some former Meta workers have even come out saying that these layoffs weren't actually about performance, but rather about making room for AI automation. If that's true, it means Zuckerberg isn't just trimming the fat, he's reshaping the entire structure of his workforce with AI at the center. So, looking at the big picture, this isn't just some experiment for Meta, it's a full-scale transformation. Zuckerberg sees AI not just as a tool, but as a fundamental shift in how work gets done at Meta. And if his bet pays off, other tech giants might follow suit, meaning we could be looking at a major shift in the entire industry. So now the question becomes, how have coding AI agents improved over the past months? And will this become a viable strategy for tech companies? Recently, AI coding agents have been getting crazy good, like genuinely scary levels of good. OpenAI's latest model, O3, is leading the charge, and it's already blowing past some serious human benchmarks. For starters, it crushed the American Invitational Mathematics Examination, AIME, with an 88% success rate. To put that in perspective, 85% is considered human expert level. So for the first time ever, an AI has actually outperformed humans on this kind of reasoning-based test. That's a big deal because it means AI isn't just memorizing patterns, it's actually thinking through problems in a way that mimics human logic. And in the world of coding, O3 is killing it. It's been tested on something called SWE Bench Verified, which is basically a set of real-world software engineering problems. Before, AI models struggled with even basic fixes, but O3, it's solving about 72% of those tasks, which is a massive jump. That means AI isn't just writing snippets of code anymore, it's actually debugging and modifying complex software projects. But here's where it gets even wilder. year, O3 has beaten OpenAI's own chief scientist in competitive programming challenges. Think about that. One of the smartest AI minds in the world was outperformed by his own creation. A big reason for this improvement is something OpenAI calls deliberative alignment. Basically, the AI doesn't just spit out answers, it reasons through its decisions step by step. This makes it way better at following safety policies and adapting to different situations. So, bottom line, AI is no longer just a tool that assists programmers. It's quickly becoming a serious contender in the field, and at this rate, it might soon be leading the charge. If you're a coder, this is either super exciting or mildly terrifying, depending on how you look at it. It's even paradoxical to some extent. Jevons' paradox is basically this: when technology makes something more efficient, instead of using less of it, people often end up using more. Let's say you invent a car engine that uses half as much gas to drive the same distance. You'd think people would end up using less gas overall, right? But what actually happens is that because driving is now cheaper, people start driving more, longer road trips, more commuting, etc. As a result, total fuel consumption can actually go up instead of down. This applies to many fields, even the revolutionary field of AI. Jevons' paradox applies perfectly to AI, and we're actually seeing it happen in real time. AI was supposed to make things more efficient, right? It can write code, generate images, and automate tasks. So you'd think this would reduce the amount of human effort needed. But instead, AI is making these tasks so cheap and accessible that people are using AI way more than expected. Take software engineering. AI coding tools like GitHub Copilot or OpenAI's models were meant to help developers write code faster. But instead of companies needing fewer programmers, they're now building even more software than before because it's so much easier and cheaper to do so. AI isn't just replacing tasks, it's increasing demand for automation, which ironically leads to more coding, more infrastructure, and even more computing power being used. And it seems like giant tech companies are embracing this change and are looking for coding engineers who are experts in AI. Tech companies aren't just talking about AI, they're going all in, hiring AI experts left and right to make sure they stay ahead of the game. Instead of resisting AI coding tools, they're embracing them, using AI to boost productivity and push innovation even further. And the job market proves it. Take Apple, for example. They're ramping up their AI and machine learning teams, hiring for roles like applied machine learning engineer and machine learning architect. These aren't just research positions, these jobs are all about integrating AI into Apple's products, whether it's smarter user experiences or AI-powered image and video processing. Intel is another big player doubling down on AI. They're hiring specialists in AI software, data science, and hardware engineering, focusing on building open AI platforms that will power real-world applications. They see AI as a core part of their future, not just a side project. So in the near future, it's very likely that if you like to be hired by big companies, you'll have to understand and know how to use AI agents. Here's another video AI enthusiasts loved watching. This is AI Exposed, demystifying the world of artificial intelligence, one video at a time.